What a beautiful morning as Paul and the others are sailing from all the way over at Caesarea and now springtime. So this has been months in this journey. They wintered at Malta. Now they're sailing north toward Italy. In fact, Luke records after we put in at Syracuse, we stayed there for 3 days. From there, we sailed around and arrived at Rhegium. And a day later, a south wind sprang up, and on the second day we came to Puteoli. There we found some brothers, and were invited to stay with them for 7 days. Thus we came to Rome. So here you see the Malta way down at the bottom of the screen, and then Sicily, where they sailed to Syracuse and spent time there, the capital of Sicily. Then they sailed around. It says, and that word is like had to sail into the wind, so we tacked back and forth up to Rhegium, there at the narrow straits of Musni, right between Sicily and Italy. Then south wind came and gave them push that they needed to sail faster and straighter right up the coast of western coast of Italy. So it's about 80 miles, Syracuse to southern tip of Italy. Put in at the strait, spent the day. Then the south wind came up, and then they came to Rome. But before they got to Rome, it says they came to Puteoli and found Christians there. It was almost as if it was a most pleasant surprise. And they stayed 7 days. Now, whether that was because of Julius the centurion wanting to get word to Rome now that he's in his own Italy, or whether it was the request from the Christians that Paul and Luke and those traveling with them stay, it probably was a mixture of both. Practical for the commander, centurion, session for his prisoner. Paul was a most remarkable prisoner. They'd spent all this time together. Julius was obviously completely impressed by the life, preaching, miracle working, his prisoner, his session, his caring for, his respect for the Apostle Paul continued to grow as they traveled together. Even though the centurion was in charge and it was his duty to deliver Paul to the court system of the emperor because he'd appealed to Caesar. Here, they spent 7 days. This would have given Paul and Luke and the others traveling with them the delightful opportunity to share the Lord's Day with the believers there. And as they did, that it was one of the greatest experiences as they broke the bread together and shared the cup together. When you've been missing something for a while and then you get to enjoy it again, it's just that much. The old saying is absence makes the heart grow fonder. And that's with people in relationships, and also this particular ceremony of sharing in the body and the blood of the Lord with other believers and remembering him, this delightful memorial. Remember Jesus together, celebrate his death and our death, his resurrection, our resurrection. Well, regardless of all those wonderful things, it's remarkable how Paul, such a unique prisoner, I'm confident the Roman system had never had a prisoner like this. And as we recognize, he was invited by friends to stay for a week and that he was a most unusual prisoner. That's that's our goal today. That you would be a most unusual wife or husband, son or daughter, dad or mom. You'd be a most unusual aunt or uncle. You'd be a most unusual neighbor. You'd be a most unusual business partner because Christ is in you. Let people see him, then be drawn to him. Let's be those most unusual people in the lives of the world around.